Hi everyone, this is Alexandra Levine, the treasurer and the board of JEXIT Inc. I know I'm not wearing my hashtag JEXIT hat. I'm in my bunker in Florida visiting my family for Hanukkah. I'm sorry I haven't been on. I had influenza for 2 weeks and I hope that everybody had a wonderful Hanukkah. Tonight is officially the last night of Hanukkah. I hope everybody celebrated a wonderful Hanukkah and hopefully many, many more in the future. And I know it's kind of late, but I really have to talk about what happened last night in Monsey, New York, in a very Orthodox Hasidic area. Hasidic men and women were gathered around celebrating Hanukkah in Rabbi Rottenberg's home, and a black Muslim, as it was reported, with a machete, entered the rabbi's home and stabbed several people. He stabbed the rabbi's son multiple times. They said in the head. They also said in the chest. There are several people there's a few people that are in critical condition, but there were several people that were extremely injured from this attack. Things like this don't happen in Monsey, New York. It hasn't happened in Monsey, New York. I have relatives that live in Monsey, New York. My aunt was actually married at her brother-in-law's home, who lives in Monsey, New York. And let me tell you, in Monsey, New York, and my aunt's wedding was in March in the daytime, and it was an outdoor wedding, open doors, everybody comes in, it's an open community. People just, they just come in. You don't think about these things. You don't think about that somebody's actually going to come in and attack you and hurt you, especially at a wedding, at a bar mitzvah, at a Hanukkah celebration, at a Passover celebration. There was a black Muslim, and Al-Qaeda actually took the credit for this, that had a machete, which is a thick sword, and just came and stabbed religious Jewish people that were celebrating Hanukkah. And this is a travesty to our nation. It is disgusting that this is the 13th anti-Semitic attack that has happened in New York City since December 8th. And now Governor Cuomo decides he wants to crack down and do something about it and heighten police in the area. It is ridiculous. Mayor Bill de Blasio, he gave a press conference this afternoon after Governor Cuomo did a press conference. And, instead of doing a come together moment, he blamed the president of the United States for this attack, which is, again, absurd and ridiculous. As we know, the president of the United States has done everything for the Jewish community, for the Jewish people in Israel. He loves Israel. He has Jewish children, Jewish grandchildren. He has Judaism in his family as well as in the cabinet. And it's just disgusting. And the message tonight is that we need to unite. We need to come together. Jews, Christians, people of different faiths, people of different races, we need to come together. We need to arm ourselves. We need to defend ourselves. We need to protect ourselves, and we need to fight. We need to fight for our rights. We need to fight for our First Amendment rights. We need to fight for all of our rights as American citizens. And hashtag JEXIT is the Judeo-Christian revival. Our motto is making Judeo-Christian values great again. And that's what is so important, especially about an incident like this. We cannot allow incidents like this to happen. We can't allow terrorism acts to happen where the people, they get arrested and then they get released the next day. It's like catch and release, which is what the president has talked about, getting rid of catch and release. It's not right. And it's a detriment to our nation. These attacks are happening left and right, and they're happening in the United States of America. New York City, I lived in New York City. I lived in New York City for 5 to 6 years of my life. As a single woman, I would never walk down the streets of New York by myself at 10, 11, midnight, even 1 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't even walk with a group of girls at 10 o'clock at night in New York City for fear that I'm going to get attacked. I am also a Jewish woman, as you all know. As a young single Jewish woman, I would never walk down the streets of New York by myself in today's society and 5 years ago society. It's very sad that in the United States of America, we have to be concerned about where we're walking and where we're going. We can't be alone. It is ridiculous, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. The President of the United States is trying to combat this. He's trying to fix the problem, but when you have liberals in power, when you have the squad in power, it causes people to hate even more people of different faiths, and it causes people to do erratic things. As we know on YouTube and social media, Louis Farrakhan still gets his word out. Louis Farrakhan runs the Nation of Islam. He is an anti-Semite. He has called Jewish people termites. He also works with Keith Ellison, who is also part of the Nation of Islam, who put Congresswoman Omar into office. We have Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib from Dearborn, Michigan. We know that she is pro-BDS. Her brothers live in the West Bank. They say that Hamas is their heroes. And they also say that Zionists control the media and Zionists control the world. This is Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib's brothers. She also, gave a quote-unquote Hanukkah message, but also said that we need to support the Palestinian people, and that the Israeli people do not support the Palestinian people, and that we confiscated their land, which of course is not true. People like Bernie Sanders, a Democratic socialist, he also is pro-BDS. He works with Linda Sarsour. As we know, she's a known anti-Semite. Linda Sarsour is constantly on social media spewing out anti-Semitic rhetoric, and she also has said not so nice things about Christians as well. And this needs to stop. This needs to stop. We need to call these people out. We need to get these people out of office, and we need to call them out. We need to call out the characters that are working with them. The squad is taking over the Democratic Party, and because we have these Democrats that constantly say anti-Semitic slurs on social media and on the chamber floor, it causes people to think irrationally, and it causes people to do irrational things to people of different faiths. This week alone, there was a woman who said she went after another Jewish woman and her son and said, bleep you Jewish person and bleep you. And she was arrested for a day and then released. Again, no punishment, no equal justice under the law. Went to jail for a day and then was released. There are incidents of people spitting at Hasidic Jewish people. I'm just going to say for Hasidic Jewish, just to let you know, the garb of the Hasidic Jew, they wear a black hat. They wear what we call payas. It is the long curls. They wear tzitzis, which is tefillin. They wear it outside of their clothing. They wear a black cloak. So they stand out amongst the crowd. And people make fun of them, and people say nasty things about them. People throw things at them. It is disgusting, and it is horrid. They don't even know the person, and they're going after them. And this is what starts a Holocaust. It only takes one person. It only takes one person to say something bad about somebody else, and then a Holocaust starts. We need to fight every single day against anti-Semitism, against the persecution of Christians and other minorities and other orientations. That is what #JEXIT is doing. We encourage everybody to join our movement and to unite with us and to do something about this, because we can't just sit and do nothing. We can't just say, oh my God, this was so tragic. We have to do something. We have to talk about the Holocaust. We have to let the young people know that the Holocaust was real. We need to educate our young people on the Holocaust. But we also need to educate people that it is not, that just because a person is a different faith, you do not go after them. And that is what needs to be taught. And it's not being taught. And again, these radical Democrats are allowed to go on social media and spew out their anti-Semitic rhetoric, and they're getting away with it. Republicans have the power as well. Conservatives have the power of the mouth as well to combat these people that go against our Constitution and go against people of different faiths. And we need to do that. We need to use social media. We need to do rallies. We need to do town halls. That's what #JEXIT is doing. And we need the American people. We need people like you, people that are listening to me right now, to unite and to do this. Because I am so heartened by what I heard and what I saw this last night, what I've read this week, that 13 anti-Semitic attacks have happened in New York City alone. Also, anti-Semitic attacks have happened in New Jersey, as we saw at that restaurant in New Jersey where people were killed and massively injured at that restaurant in New Jersey. Stuff like this needs to stop because it's entering our homes. and everybody needs to be armed if they can be armed. If you do not, if you live in a state where you can have a concealed carry, I encourage you to get a concealed carry. If I also encourage you to push that your schools, your churches, and your synagogues get 24-hour security, and not just one security guard. You need multiple security guards. You need protection. You need protection as much as possible, because that guy, that black Muslim, he didn't shoot anybody. He came with a machete. Everything is considered a weapon, whether it's a knife, a gun. You need to protect yourself. You need to arm yourself against, you need to prepare yourself in case, God forbid, this ever happens again. No neighborhood is safe right now. And the sanctuary cities and the sanctuary states are the worst. I have friends that live in Baltimore County. I go up to Baltimore County and do events. I am so scared of Baltimore City and Baltimore County. There's only like 2 or 3 areas that are decent, and then the rest is run by MS-13 gang members. It's a sanctuary city. The state of Maryland has become a sanctuary state. It is so dangerous to go to Baltimore, to go to downtown Baltimore where Camden Yards is, where the Baltimore Orioles play. West Baltimore, you end up there. You got to pray that you're going to end up alive. I got lost in West Baltimore in the daytime as a single white woman in my car. I was so scared out of my mind. It shouldn't be that way. I should not be afraid to drive in any city in the United States of America. This is not a third world country. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we need to unite, and we need to work together as one. We have to do this. We have to do this. This has to be done, because we keep hearing about these horrible anti-Semitic attacks on churches. There was an attack today in Texas in a church. Somebody tried to kill people going to church today in Texas, and they stopped the guy. But this is what's going on. And the problem is that people are not going to want to go to church anymore. They're not going to want to go to synagogues anymore. They're not going to want to go to Sunday school or religious school or Chabad or any type of religious institution. And that's not good either. We should not be scared to walk down the street, to walk to our synagogue, to walk to our church, to drive to these institutions, to go to school. We should not be afraid to send our children to public school for fear that, God forbid, they're not going to come back alive. We need to work on this. And the American people have the votes. The American people are the judge and the jury. You can vote the correct people in there that will push President Trump's agenda and stick by him 100% and protect our rights, our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, all of our amendment rights. It is so important right now. It is so important, especially now. The holiday season is the worst time, because that's the time where people go crazy and they do crazy things. And we need to protect ourselves. The time is now to unite and protect ourselves and to call these people out. A very famous guy, his name is Dov Hikind. He's a Jewish man that lives in Brooklyn, New York, that's from Brooklyn. He's a Democrat that votes Republican. He voted for President Trump in 2016. He's going to vote for President Trump in 2020. But he talks about how there's so much anti-Semitism in Congress. And if we voted those people out, if we voted democratic socialism out, if we do not vote democratic socialism as the next president of the United States, our country would be safer. The people of this nation would be safer. I'm telling you, we cannot continue to have anti-Semitism be at the rise in 2019. The fact that it is a heightened topic right now in 2019, it's just insane. We don't want the United States to turn into Nazi Germany, and that's what it's going to start becoming if we keep having democratic socialism take over, if we have radical Islamic terrorism take over our country, if we have ISIS in our country, Al-Qaeda, terror in our country, Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Aqsa's Martyr Brigade. We need to call them out. We need to do something. And everyone here that's listening, I know they can do something, and I know everybody that I talk to wants to do something. So if you want to work with #JEXIT, if you want to do something, please message me. Please message my president, Michelle Lubin-Terrace. Please message my board directors, Karen Simone Bassel, Sophia Monalesco, George Kalela. He's watching right now. Bikers for 45. We love you, George Kalela. Thank you for watching. And also my board director, Cantor Siggy Goldenholtz, and Jody Steinlauf. Please, Hashtag JEXIT is an all-inclusive group. We are Jews, we work with Christians, we work with Blacks, we work with Hispanics, Native Americans, Asian Americans, gays, transgenders, everybody of different religions, orientations, and faiths. We want to combat this as much as possible, because if not, it's just going to get worse. And I know that everybody is scared out there. I know people are scared, but you don't have to be afraid anymore. You do not have to be afraid. We are here for you. We will help you. 63 million people voted for the President of the United States. We have your back. We have your back. But you cannot talk anymore. You must do. A really great guy that I met, his name is Jaco Bunez. He's a Jewish man from South Africa. He spoke at a Turning Point USA Summit this last summer at the Museum of the Bible. He said something very interesting. He says, we need to fight for something, not fight against something. We need to fight for. And, you know, we're all smart people. We're very, very smart people, but we need to be street smart too. You can't just be book smart. You got to be street smart. And we have to fight for something. We have to fight for something. Like I said, I will repeat, if you live in a state where you can get a concealed carry, I advise everybody to get a concealed carry. If you live in a state where you cannot obtain a concealed carry, I encourage you to get protection at all ends, whether it's special security in your home, a security system in your home, or call the county, call the city, and really work to get 24-hour security at your school, at your synagogue, at your church, any religious institution. This has to happen right now. This has to happen. It's just so it hardens my heart to hear that 13 anti-Semitic attacks happened in New York City, and Governor Cuomo now he wants to do something about it. We'll see what he wants to do. We'll see if he does anything. We'll see if he passes the domestic terrorism bill that he was talking about. We'll see. We'll see if he's actually going to do something, because he's perpetrated a lot of he's said a lot of negative stuff against the president over the course of the president announcing that he was running, and now that he's president of the United States. And he has run the president out of the state where the president was born. President Trump was born in Astoria, Queens. And he is now a permanent resident of the state of Florida because of what the state of New York has done to him. How they've hurt him. How they've made him feel unwanted in a city that President Trump built from the ground up with his late father. There's Trump Tower and Trump Hotel everywhere. And what President Trump has done for Trump Tower, there's a story of a homeless woman. She's been living in one of the Trump Towers for about 8 years now. He took her in, and he makes sure that she gets a proper meal and clothing every single day. He makes sure that she is taken care of. That is a real life story that President Trump has done. And people the media doesn't discuss those stories. The president has done wonderful things for the Jewish people, for the Black community, for the Christian community, for the Hispanic community. He's working for us. He's working for the American people. He wants to make America great again and keep America great. And we need to stand by the president because he can't do it alone. He needs our help, and we need to help him. We need to help him, and we need to stand by him. We also, as people, we need to unite. We need to unite as one. We need to find solutions to combat anti-Semitism, the persecution of Christians and other minorities and other orientations. And enough is enough of this divisiveness. It is time to unite. Hashtag JEXIT, again, believes in making Judeo-Christian values great again. We are the Judeo-Christian revival. And that is our resolution. That is our New Year's resolution, is to make Judeo-Christian values great again. It is so important. It is so important. Also, another thing I want to talk about is hashtag JEXIT is planning a trip of a lifetime to Israel, May 2020, with the United West, which is run by Tom Trento. Also, we have renowned Dr. Ronnie Wexler, who's an Israeli, who will tell you his story, how he, up in Masada, how he fought in the Yom Kippur War, 1973 Yom Kippur War. And he tells it right at Masada for about 15 minutes, and he's a wonderful, wonderful human being. We're so happy to go with him. Another person that's coming with us is congressional candidate, District 21 against Lois Frankel, Laura Loomer. She will be coming with us. Claire Lopez will be coming with us. It is a trip of a lifetime. It is a 10-day trip to Israel, May 18th through the 29th. Please, the spaces are limited. We're only taking about 60 people. And we would love to take everybody on this trip. It is a trip of a lifetime. We will be going to the new embassy in Jerusalem. We will be meeting the new U.S. ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, and much more. We'll be interviewing American Jews that have moved to Israel, that keep their citizenship, that vote in our elections, and they voted 95% for Trump in 2016. I have friends that are Israelis. I have friends that are American Jews that have moved to Israel. They are going to vote 98% for Trump in 2020. They love the president in Israel, and we will be interviewing those people, and we will be we will be releasing what we call their JEXIT testimonials, why they have JEXIted from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, and why do they vote for President Trump, and the premise is that we need to have more American Jews voting for President Trump, because American Jews need to vote for someone that supports them, that represents them, that protects them. It's not about party anymore. President Trump is one of the most pro-Israel presidents we have had in anybody's lifetime, more pro than Ronald Reagan. And Jewish people and Christians and people of different faiths have seen that the president is a supporter of their faith. And that's why we really need to stand behind the president. Minority groups are now starting to stand by the president because they love what he's doing for the economy, and he loves what he does for the Jewish people, for the Hispanic people, for the Black community, for the Native American community, for the Asian American community. And it's a revelation. It's a revelation that when he said to the African American community, "What the hell do you have to lose?" It woke them up, because the African American community for the first time felt that somebody cared about them. Because the Democrats would go in and say, "We're going to take care of you, we're going to take care of you, we're going to take care of you." They take your vote, and then 4 years later they do nothing, and they ask for your vote again. That is not President Trump. President Trump has kept his promises. And he is all action. When he tells you he's going to do something, he does it. And there's so much proof that he has done it. I mean, look at the unemployment rate. We have the lowest unemployment rate for Blacks, lowest unemployment for women, lowest unemployment for the Hispanic community. It is very, very important. He's putting jobs back. He's bringing jobs back to this country. And it's so important that we continue to vote for somebody and stand by somebody that is going to bring jobs back to this country and get the American people to work again. They say there's so many jobs now, not enough people to fill. It used to be there's so many people, not enough jobs to fill. I lived under the Obama economy. I can tell you, I had to work 3 part-time jobs to make ends meet, and it was really, really sad. And people my age were not getting married, they were not having children, and it was really sad. The day that the day that President Trump won, guess what? People were getting married, people were starting to have children, and people now we're getting full-time jobs. No more part-time jobs anymore. No more working 3 part-time jobs to make ends meet. Thank you so much, President Trump. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for the American people. I thank that man every single day for what he's done to the American people, what he's done for the American people, and what he will continue to do for the American people when he wins in 2020. So again, we need to stand by the president because he cares about the American people. He puts the American people first, which is what the President of the United States is supposed to do. When you look at the difference between him and Barack Hussein Obama put the American people last, and he threw Israel under the bus. And those are the facts. Those are the facts. You look at the economy under Barack Hussein Obama and the economy that is today. It is day and night. It is day and night. Also, I encourage people that did not vote for the president to attend his rallies. And let me tell you something. I talked to people that are Democrats at the rallies because I was at his rally in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I've been at multiple different rallies since he's been the president of the United States. And I talk to people, it's their first rally and they love him. And they're like, we're going to vote for him in 2020. We're so happy that we came to his rallies, because they don't really know the man. You don't really know the man until you actually go to one of his rallies or you go to an event where he's speaking at. Because I can tell you from personal experience, when you go to his rally, he talks to you like he's known you for 20 years, like you're his best friend. He tells you everything about what's going on in his life. He vents to you. You feel that he's been your friend for 20 years. And it's wonderful. And he doesn't look above you, below you, beneath you. He doesn't care if you're a truck driver. He doesn't care if you're a teacher. He doesn't care what race you are, religion you are. You are one with him. You are on the same level. And that's what's important to know. And if you have not been to a Trump rally, I encourage you to go. I encourage you to go. And you know what? More Democrats have been attending his rallies. His last rally had, I think, 33 in Hershey, Pennsylvania, I think it was reported 27 to 20% of people that were there were Democrats. In Sunrise, Florida, he had about 30% of Democrats that attended his rallies. More Democrats are attending his rallies. More independents are attending his rallies. And he's getting even never Trumpers and snowflakes to attend his rallies, and people in the GOP establishment to attend his rallies. And after they attend his rallies, they're like, oh my God, I love this man. They think that it's a whole different persona of him. They think completely, they take away what the fake media has said about him, and they analyze it for themselves. Because I'm telling you, when you go to his rally, you meet so many wonderful people, and it's such a great experience, and you really get to know the man, and you get to understand the man. And like I said, he looks at you like you have been his friend for 20 years. He treats you like you're his buddy. And it's the most wonderful thing in the world. And that's why we have to stand behind him. But we need to combat anti-Semitism and any hate crime at every turn. If you see it, if you hear it, report on it, arm yourself, protect yourself, protect the person who's getting hurt. Report it to the police immediately, but we need to combat this at every single turn. This is something that is so important, because innocent lives are being hurt. Innocent lives are being killed. What happened in Muncie, New York, was a person who did not like somebody because of their faith, and they thought it would be a great idea to just go to the person's home and kill them all because they hated him, because they were Jews. Jewish people, we dealt with that in Nazi Germany. We dealt with that in Nazi Germany. We should not be dealing with that in the United States of America in 2019, almost 2020. We have our new year coming up very soon in just a few short days. Please, I encourage everybody to work with #JEXIT. Please work with us. Please rally with us. Please, please, please join us. Please join us. We are a fast and growing movement. We support everybody. We are an all-inclusive organization. Please Facebook us on #JEXIT. Email us info@jexitusa.org. That is info@jexitusa.org. You can tweet us. Our Twitter feed is phenomenal. It's @JEXIT4Trump, @JEXIT4Trump. Please, we also have #JEXIT chapter presidents. We are forming #JEXIT chapters nationwide. If you're interested in becoming a chapter president, please message myself, Alexandra Levine, or my president, Michelle Lubin-Terrace, or any of my board directors, Karen Simone Bassel, Jody Steinlauf, Sophia Monalesco, Cantor Siggy Goldenholz, or George Kalela, and we will and we would love to have you. Anybody who wants to volunteer to work with #JEXIT, we would love to have you. But please, the squad that's in power, we need to get them out of power. We need to put leadership in there that supports the president and supports his agenda. It's very important. There are wonderful people out there that love the president, that support the president and his agenda. And please, please, the squad is what's hurting our nation. Democratic socialism is what hurts countries and it's what kills nations. And we see what's going on in Venezuela with democratic socialism. It is terrible. The people there can't eat. It's really, really sad. I heard they eat human flesh to survive. It's very, very sad what socialism can do to a country. Do not let it invade this country. Do not let it take over this country. Get it out of Congress. Don't ever let it don't ever let it be the president of the United States. Don't ever let it become the vice president of the United States. Don't ever let it come into leadership. Please, please take a stance and stand behind people that support the American people. My name is Alexandra Levine. I'm the treasurer of the board of JEXIT Inc., coming to you live from my humble abode in Florida. Please, guys, never again means never again.